Let me tell you the 7 things I wish someone had told me before I started day trading. These are not ordinary tips, not practice more or follow your plan. Real things. Things that cost me years of pain and thousands of dollars. These are not tips. These are survival lessons, and if you ignore them, the market will teach them to you the expensive way. If you act wisely, you do not have to learn the expensive way. Let's begin. 1. Your first strategy will fail, and that is okay. Your first strategy will probably fail, and it should. The truth is, most traders think they will succeed in their first year when they start trading, but almost none of them become consistently profitable in their first year. And this is normal. If we set our expectations correctly, we can manage this process better and learn some lessons earlier. Meet Alex. 24 years old. He spent 6 months building what he thought was the perfect strategy. Backtested it, optimized it, had a 70% win rate on historical data. He thought he had solved everything and believed it was inevitable that he would become rich. And then he went live and was disappointed. His strategy did not work the way he tested it, not because the strategy was bad, but because the market changed. What worked in a trending market did not work in a choppy one. What worked during low volatility failed during high volatility. And Alex thought he had failed. He thought he wasted 6 months. But he did not. Because the first strategy is never about the strategy. It is about learning how to build strategies, how to test them, understanding what a real strategy is and what it is not, knowing when it stops working and how to recognize it. Most traders quit after their first strategy fails. They think trading does not work, but the truth is simpler. The first strategy is just a price you pay for education. It teaches you the process. And what makes you a trader is the process, not the strategy. So when your first strategy fails, and it will, do not quit. Build the second one, and the third, and the fourth. Because by the fifth strategy, you will know what you are doing. And that knowledge is more valuable than any single system. Learning to build strategies is important. If you truly have no edge, having good psychology is meaningless. If you truly have a good strategy, I am talking about a strategy proven with years of profitable data. And if you have reached the trading maturity to apply it correctly mentally, you are profitable. 2. Paper trading is a lie. Everyone tells you to practice on a demo account. Get comfortable, learn the platform, build confidence. And it sounds logical, but it is not. We think I will gain experience without losing money. But here is the brutal truth. Paper trading teaches you nothing about real trading. Nothing. Because paper trading has no fear, no emotions. And the only thing that matters is fear. Meet Jordan. He paper traded for 3 months, made consistent profit, 70 trades, 60 wins. He was certain he would make incredible money when he applied these the same way. He felt ready, so he went live with real money and lost 12 trades in a row. Not because his strategy stopped working, but because his brain stopped working. On the demo account, taking a loss was easy. It was fake money. His nervous system did not care. But on the live account, every loss hurt. Every trade felt like his worth was being judged, and that fear changed everything. He hesitated on good setups. He held losers too long, hoping they would come back. He cut winners early because he was afraid to give profit back. Same strategy, different brain, and the different brain lost. So paper trading is a lie. Real experience is gained in the field. You must be willing to lose money. The path to mastery has many prices. If you are not ready to pay these prices, you should turn back while the road is near. It will not be easy. There will be days you are emotionally devastated, but each time you will get up the next day and fight again. You will make mistakes. Your emotions will sabotage your discipline, but you will struggle and find a way to overcome them all. Trading is truly a blessing. It can change your life incredibly and give you your financial freedom by spending minimum time. But everything has a price. It is a mistake to think the price of such a blessing will be small. If you are on the deserving side and you will be there, you must be willing to pay the prices. You will be tested countless times, and you may fail countless times. But if you continue, you will reach places very few people can reach. You will master, not just on charts. You will grow mentally, and your capacity for psychological load you can tolerate will increase. It will not be easy, but you will win in every sense. Here is what paper trading does not teach you. It does not teach you how it feels when real money is on the line. It does not teach you how your heart races before you click the button. It does not teach you the voice in your head that says, "Do not take this trade. What if it fails?" Paper trading gives you the mechanics. But trading is not mechanics. It is emotional warfare. And you cannot train for war with a water gun. So here's what you do instead. Skip the demo. Or use it for 1 week just to learn the platform. Then go live with the smallest size possible. So small that losing does not hurt, but real enough that your nervous system knows it is not fake. Because if your pain is not real, your learning is not real. And the market will teach you this lesson whether you want it or not. So do not delay learning this lesson for nothing. Leave paper trading and start with the appropriate amount. 3. You will lose friends and relationships if you are not careful. No one talks about this. I know this does not sound pleasant at all, but we have to talk about the facts. Day trading is obsessive. When you start, it consumes you. You think about it constantly. You check charts at dinner. You wake up at 3 a.m. to catch a different market. You cancel plans because you have a trade running. And the people around you do not understand. Unfortunately, they cannot understand. Do not judge them. If you were in their place, you would not understand either, because trading is not like any job. Meet Riley. He started trading while working full-time. He was excited. He told his friends, his family, his partner. And at first, they were supportive. But after 6 months, the support turned into concern. Why are you always on your phone? Why did you cancel again? Why are you so stressed? And Riley could not explain it, because to him, trading was not a hobby, it was a mission. But to them, it looked like an addiction. And they were not entirely wrong. Trading, especially in the beginning, requires an unhealthy level of focus. We need to learn and perceive many things. So if you are new to trading, it is normal to spend a lot of time on charts. And it is necessary. And that focus comes at a cost. Relationships suffer. Social life disappears. And if you are not careful, you will look up one day and realize you are alone. Here is the lesson. Set boundaries. Trading hours are trading hours. Life hours are life hours. Do not mix them, because no amount of profit is worth losing the people you care about. And if you cannot set boundaries, you will burn out. Not from the market, from isolation. Try to achieve balance, even if it is not easy. And do not tell people about your trading life. When trading is already difficult, do not unintentionally put people in expectation and make it harder. Nobody needs to know until things get serious. 4. The market does not care about your bills. This is the hardest one to accept. Your life may be difficult. You may want to earn regular income from trading as soon as possible and quit your job. I know. However, approaching it this way will unfortunately undermine your process. You need to make money. We all have rent to pay. You have debt. You have expenses. And you look at trading as the solution. You think, if I can just make $200 a day, I will be fine. I have to tell you the painful truth. This neediness and desperation will destroy you. I am sorry, but needing it will push you to make mistakes. Push you to act emotionally. Push you to manage your trades poorly and sabotage yourself. Do not get under a load you cannot carry. Meet Morgan. Single parent. 2 kids. Started trading because the 9-to-5 was not enough. Needed an extra $1,000 a month. So every trade became life or death. Every loss was not just a loss. It was rent money, it was grocery money, and that pressure made it impossible to trade rationally. When you need the trade to work, you cannot let it breathe. And this forces you to look with bias. You micromanage it. You move your stop because you cannot afford the loss. You hold past your exit because you need more. And the market does not care. It does not know you have bills. It does not know you are desperate. It just moves. And desperate traders lose. Every time. Here is the truth. Do not start day trading because you need money. Start because you have money you can afford to lose. If you are trading to pay bills, you are already finished. You need a runway, a cushion. 6 months of expenses saved so that trading is not life or death. Because the moment trading becomes survival, you lose the ability to trade well. The moment you depend on it, you will lose. These are unpleasant things to hear, I know. But this is the truth. The period I traded best before becoming a full-time trader was when I had a side job and could comfortably sustain my life through that job. Because I was not dependent on trading, I was not dependent on trading results, and so I did not need to force results. I did not need to form an emotional attachment. I could apply my trades in a healthy and disciplined way. Because I was detached, I was not dependent on it. I was not in need of results. On the other hand, the period when I was a full-time trader and my survival depended on it was very stressful. I could not trade at my best somehow. As much as I needed money, I found myself forcing setups unintentionally. So find ways to be detached from results. Absolutely. 5. Screen time does not equal learning time. Most new traders think more screen time equals faster progress. So they sit in front of charts for 12 hours a day, watching, waiting, taking trades. And this may be valid for the early times, but if you proceed this way, you can burn out quickly. So make limiting your screen time a habit from the very beginning. Determine a time range in which you will trade regularly and get in front of the screen during those session hours. Make this your habit and master that session. Looking at charts and trading 24 hours is not a realistic approach. Meet Casey, quit the job, went full-time trading on day 1, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day, watching every tick, taking every setup. And after 2 months, Casey was mentally destroyed, could not focus, could not sleep, started making errors that a beginner would not make. Because the brain is not designed for that level of intensity. You cannot stare at a screen for 10 hours and expect to make good decisions. Your focus deteriorates, your discipline fades, and you start trading out of boredom instead of strategy. Here is what actually works. Quality over quantity. 2 focused hours of trading is better than 10 hours of screen zombification. Trade your session. Aim to give your best performance at specific times. Think of yourself as a cyber athlete. You must manage your time and energy correctly. If you do not manage correctly, the markets will manage you, manipulate you, wear you out emotionally and take money from your pocket. Find the specific time block where your strategy works and trade during that time, and then walk away. Use the rest of the day to review, to journal, to study, to recharge, to refresh mentally, but not to stare at charts, because screen time without structure is not learning. It is just exhaustion disguised as effort. 6. You will lose money in the first year. Budget for it. You must account for this. Do not expect to be incredibly successful in your first year at a job. This is especially difficult for trading, because there are many parts of the game you have not accounted for, and you will not even notice most of them in your first year. You may be profitable for a while, but that does not mean it will always be that way. So set aside a budget for your first year. Unfortunately, this is what no one wants to hear. 99% will not be profitable in your first year. You might not be in your second, and this is normal. Not because you are bad at this, but because trading is a skill, and skills take time. Real skills are built over time with plenty of practice. Meet Cameron. Walked in thinking 6 months to profitability, had $12,000 saved. Thought that was plenty. But 6 months in, the account was at $4,000, not from blowing up, just from slow, consistent losses while learning. And Cameron panicked, started taking bigger risks to make it back. And that is when the real damage happened. If Cameron had known from the start that the first year was tuition not profit, the approach would have been different, but expectations were high and hoped to make money immediately, so took high risks. Whereas if progressing with smaller size would have gained more experience, and what was needed was experience, not making money yet. Lower expectations. Focus on process, not results. The most respected prop firms tell their traders to expect at least 2 years before consistent profitability. 2 years. Not 6 weeks. Not 3 months. 2 years focused on learning, focused on building skill, losing and building skill. Here's the lesson. Treat your first year as education, not income. Budget to lose, not to win. And if you make money, great. But do not depend on it, because the moment you depend on it, you ruin your ability to learn. Be realistic. 7. Position size matters more than entry. This is what separates amateurs from professionals. Amateurs obsess over entry. They think they can consistently catch the best entry levels. Yet this is not possible. Not only is it not possible, it is not necessary for you to be a profitable trader. This is an insignificant issue that distracts your attention unnecessarily. Your entry point may not be optimal, and this is insignificant. Where exactly should I get in? What is the perfect trigger? They spend hours analyzing charts looking for the cleanest entry, and they think that is what makes a good trader. But it is not. Position size is what makes or breaks you. Your position size determines your trading destiny. No, I am not exaggerating. Meet Taylor and Jordan. Same strategy, same market, same day. Both saw the same setup. Both entered at the same price. Taylor took a position worth 5% of the account. Jordan took a position worth 1%. The trade went against them. Hit the stop. Taylor lost 5%. Jordan lost 1%. But here is what happened next. Taylor was rattled. That 5% loss hurt. So the next trade, Taylor hesitated, missed it, and it would have been a winner. The hesitation continued. Confidence shattered. Jordan, on the other hand, took the 1% loss and moved on. No emotional damage, no hesitation. Took the next trade. Won. Because managed it correctly. Because did not take a risk that would destroy. Took the next. Won. By the end of the week, Taylor was down 15%. Jordan was up 3%. Same strategy, same entries, different position size, different outcome. Do not be obsessed with the entry part. Be obsessed with the risk management part, because position size determines your emotional state, and your emotional state determines your execution. If your size is too big, even perfect entries will not save you, because you will not be able to manage the trade correctly. You will cut it early, hold it too long, move your stop, all because the size triggered your fear response. But if your size is appropriate for your nervous system, you can execute flawlessly. This is possible, but only with the right risk size, even if the entry is not perfect. So stop obsessing over entries. Start obsessing over size, because the right size with an average entry beats the perfect entry with the wrong size every single time. Risk management is not up for debate. These are the 7 things I wish I knew. If you take these 7 things seriously and have the maturity to act accordingly, your process on the path to becoming a profitable trader will become easier and will progress positively. Your first strategy will fail. Paper trading is a lie. You will lose relationships if you are not careful. The market does not care about your bills. Screen time is not learning time. You will lose money in the first year. And position size matters more than entry. None of these are sexy. None of them are what you want to hear. But all of them are true. And the ones who survive are the ones who accept these truths early. The ones who quit are the ones who fight them. So accept them, plan for them, and let them guide you. Because day trading is not about being right. It is about surviving long enough to get good. You will pay certain prices, and if you are not ready to pay these prices, unfortunately, this path is not for you. And it might not be. Accept this. The path to mastery in a job like trading will take years. The job has many dimensions, and you will learn them all. You must be patient. The one who moves with patience, not the one who moves with haste, arrives earlier where they want to go. Do not forget this. If there is something you wish you knew before starting day trading, share it with us in the comments.